Hey, welcome to the No Drinks in the Booth podcast, back with another classic episode 12. Big shout out to everyone that's watching us on YouTube. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share. And also big shout out to everyone that listens to us on Apple Podcast and Spotify's. Please leave us 5-star reviews because it pushes up higher in the chart. And it's nice to know that you think so highly of us. As always, in the booth with me, Midland's finest Pavan Saki and coffee connoisseur Chris Watson, and holding it all together, the glue, Wade Kadir. How is everyone? Pav, you can go first because you was going to say hello.
The glue. It's nice to know that.
Yeah, I was going to say about that.
It's nice to know I'm basically the undisputed king of the Midlands now, which is great.
In my eyes, you are, Pav.
From Leicester to Birmingham, it is me. I've had a good week. Work has started to pick up a little bit for me, so I'm quite happy with that. And it was obviously my birthday the other day. Got a beer pump. So I now have the ability to have draft beer in my house. And that is something that, one, I didn't think was going to happen for a long time. Because I did say when I move house, I'll get one installed in my kitchen, like a proper one. But also it's come at a really poor time because I've actually just given up alcohol for the next 2 months. So it's basically just fucking sitting there. It's a really bad idea because I've got a full keg that I need to finish within 30 days and there's like 12 pints in there, and I've already said I'm not drinking until Christmas, so basically just need to invite loads of people over like, yeah, do you want to come for a drink, and then just be there with a glass of water.
No, that's not going to happen. No way. You can't not use it. I give it 2 days.
Oh no, I've already used it. I used it the other day. I've had a couple of pints. I had a couple of pints to check that it was working.
There you go.
Oh, of course.
Obviously.
Of course. Check it was working.
Yeah, it is.
Chris, how have you been?
Yeah, good. Just kind of living that hermit life. Kind of, I remember the days when I was like playing in clubs and, you know, living my absolute DJ best life, and now just continuing the production work, thankfully still continuing and really enjoying that and staying productive, and I like to think making some great records. But to be honest, I am missing DJing. We're going to get onto this, but it'd be great to have the DJing side of things back in the clubs, like being kind of like boots on the ground, that kind of thing. So but good overall. How about you, Wade?
Yeah, good. I've got a gig on Saturday.
Woo!
Brunch thing. So I'm quite excited for that. That should be quite cool. Don't know what to expect because I've not done it. I haven't DJed to people in 6 months. But it should be fun. It'd be interesting. That's really it. I've got a load of work to do on my laptop. I've got to sort out like 6 months worth of songs that I've just downloaded and just left, which is always fun. What else? Oh, the Lakers won the NBA championship, which for me is a big deal. Because I said, they should have. Shout out to LeBron James and Anthony Davis, homeboys. We know that they know me.
It's just even worse for the Clippers now. Like, it's just rubbing salt in the wound so much.
Clippers suck. Shame because
fucking hell.
No, they do. They suck really badly. Shame because their owner Steve Ballmer is fantastic. But big shout out to the NBA because they've put across a really good message with like social reform and everything that comes with it. So Black Lives Matters, education reform and police reform in the US.
They're like the most anti-NFL. Like, it's such a weird contrast between the two.
Yeah. The NBA.
So what's the NFL like? What's the NFL
well,
like?
Obviously, the NFL kind of sort of started it with Colin Kaepernick when he took the knee, etc. And the NFL, and then he can't get a job in the NFL. Like, it's been like 3 years or whatever. To like cut a long story short, whereas the NBA sort of understand, I think that pretty much all of their talent is black, give or take.
Majority
the percentage of black athletes in NBA is far disproportionate to the population of America. So actually they do talk a lot about it and kind of support that kind of social reform, which is great. I mean, football is doing that a lot here as well, to be fair. Actual football, not NFL.
Big shout out to Adam Silver, who is the commissioner of the NBA, because he really champions the fact that they want to speak up for something they believe very strongly about, whether that's social reform, reforming justice, education, or just stuff like mental health. Like, he really champions, he gives the power to the players, which I think is very rare from a league, especially in this day and age. So that is what has been happening with us. Should we do some news? Because we've got news, we've got reviews, we've got a really good topic. you know, we've got all the good stuff that we usually have. So should we just get into it news-wise?
Let's go.
Yeah.
Okay, first big news story of today is Mr. Jam. He has gone to not Apple Music like we thought, but Capital Dance. And he is there Tuesday to Sunday from 4 p.m. and then Friday and Saturday 7 p.m. on Capital with the Capital Weekender. What is everyone's thoughts? Capital Dance, not Apple. Pav?
I mean, it's a good thing I didn't put any money on it because fuck me. I was like dead set because Mr. Jam is like, just should be on Apple. He's that guy. I was like, if they just get Mr. Jam, it's like the perfect lineup. And then Capital coming out with the goods. This either means basically one of two things. Either means Capital have said, here is a blank check, write the number you would like, Mr. Jam, thank you very much. Or maybe there's some problems at BBC. I mean, we know that that's been a thing. Obviously, they're lowering a lot of people's salaries at the moment. People like Gary Lineker have taken big pay cuts, etc. So I'd assume it would be a company-wide thing. And I mean, we've seen a lot of people leave BBC almost for no reason and going elsewhere over the last couple of years. So maybe it's like the continuation of the trend. Maybe it's like not quite the same anymore. I don't know. But I'm really happy for Mr. Jam because, I mean, I don't think we can say enough how much we think he's actually just really good.
Yeah, they've got a big advertising campaign. He's on the side of buses, he's on billboards, he's got an advert. And obviously, to add some clarity, Capital Dance is available on DAB. It's the dance music station version of Capital. So it champions everything dance-wise, house mainly. Yeah. But I think that will get expanded. I know he's on there with Coco Cole, who's a really good broadcaster as well. And they're going to obviously add more DJs to the lineup, I assume.
Can I just throw something out before Chris goes? Has anyone ever been in an Uber late night where they're not playing Capital? Because I feel like every time I go into an Uber on a night out, Capital is on. And if Bossman is not playing Mr. Jam now, I'm going to be fuming.
You might, yeah. No, I've not, but okay, Chris.
Oh, great. Thanks a lot.
Do you know what, Pav? Pav, do you know what? You're actually not wrong. That's the reach of Capital.
It's like
every Uber driver.
Every single time you're in a cab after 9 o'clock, Capital must be on. It's in the Uber handle.
Yeah.
Look, sorry, can I just say something? I've never been in an Uber full stop.
Have you not?
Never.
Sorry, what?
No, honestly, I've only ever used Uber Eats, but never been in an Uber. Like, not in this country.
What? Hold on, Wade. I know you're like on like the fringes of Essex or whatever, but I swear you're like really London. Like Uber's around you, right? Like you have Uber.
No, Uber is available. I've only ever used Uber.
Uber
and
is available.
Uber is available. I've only ever used Uber and Lyft when I'm in Orlando because I don't have a car and I don't want to drive out there either. I've never used it over here ever. Support the black cabs.
No.
What? So what do you mean support? The black cabs are
so is that the real reason?
Is that the real reason?
Supporting the black cabs?
Well, to be honest, three of my uncles are black cab drivers, but that's not the reason. But I just never used one, literally. Uber Eats, shout out to them, they're sick. But Uber, never used it in this country, only America. Chris, thoughts on Mr. Jam?
We've been sidetracked again, guys. We've got sidetracked. Yeah. Look, Mr. Jam, one of my favourite radio presenters, and he once said in an interview, and I remember this clearly to this day because I've tried to follow like this mantra, which is he's always looking for the newest app, the newest technological movement, the newest thing to come to like music, culture, like the whole thing in general. I remember this interview. And that's why I thought Apple, in terms of like for him as a person and then like career, is surely like the perfect thing for him. Like, you know, it's been cited by many, including us, as like the future of broadcasting and radio. So, Pav, I have to say, I feel like Capital have offered him an awesome deal. Deserved, because he is quality. But I genuinely think Capital must have, I mean, they're clearly investing. This goes beyond his paycheck. Like, they're obviously investing in like all the advertising and everything. So, yeah, it must be some crazy, I mean, shouts to Mr. Jam, because it must be some crazy deal that he's got. I know this, I don't want to put you guys on the spot, but did you listen, either of you guys, to the first show?
I didn't listen to the first show, but I've listened to him on Capital Dance, yeah.
I didn't, because I wasn't in an Uber at the time.
What was it like, Wade? Was it like Radio 1? What he did on Radio 1? Because that was awesome what he did on Radio 1.
It was just like dance anthems, but obviously extended.
Yeah.
Like literally, it's dance anthems with all the past, present, and future dance tunes. Yeah, how they do that. It's literally that, but over a day. Like obviously, Mr. Jam. I listened to Mr. Jam's show. I didn't just listen to Capital Dance at a different time. But it was literally a big extended version of dance anthems. It's very infectious. He's you can hear him smiling through his words. So,
I was literally about to say, didn't someone say that? Was that?
I think someone.
I saw that online.
I think someone has said that, but like you can hear his happiness. It's really infectious, and
it's the energy. It's the energy.
It is the energy, and I think that positivity is well needed. Okay, speaking of Apple, let's move on. Dottie, she went to Apple Music and she launches her show, which would have launched Monday just gone at 3 p.m. It's a celebration of black music from the UK and around the world. If anyone's listened to Dottie when she was on Radio 1 Extra, one of my favourite broadcasters, how do you think she will do at Apple? What are your thoughts on the show? I know you've not listened to it yet because it's not actually gone out, but, thoughts, Chris?
Well, she's like very cool. She's super like forward thinking. I think she's like a perfect fit for Apple. I feel like she's going to absolutely kill it. Like they need like those kinds of minds and presenters like surrounding their brand. Is it Beats? It's not Beats Radio, is it? Is it Apple Radio?
Yeah, it'd be Apple Radio, yeah.
It'd be Apple Radio, yeah. But that whole brand, like the Apple Radio kind of just, idea of Apple Radio and kind of people that are going to tune into that, she's like perfect for it, I think. I think she's going to kill it.
Yeah, I think equally like how Mr. Jam's positivity and happiness is infectious. I think Dottie is very similar in the respect that I find her positivity and just general like zest for like life, you find really sort of like it's infectious. It is infectious. It really brings
definitely.
you up. Pav, thoughts on the Dottie show?
I'm not sure. I mean, I wasn't the biggest fan of Dottie anyway. I was kind of indifferent about her. And then she started doing that, those little rants, those 1 minute rants about stuff that she doesn't like in life. And I was like, well, this I can get back because I don't know if you guys have heard, but I'm a little bit of a hater. So that was like
just in general.
Yeah.
So I was like,
we know.
basically, if I can complain and it's also fun for me, that's just fucking great. And she nailed it. I'm not quite sure how.
Sorry, Pav.
Sorry, go on.
Pav, I'm really sorry. Just to clarify for people listening that might not have watched your streams when you were streaming, Pav actually did a section called Pav's Unpopular Opinion and then ranted. So when you say,
like stop the music and then actually ranted, like stopped DJing and then had a rant.
I was just there like...
Yeah, it literally said, oh, this song's bad, don't worry about that. So basically, I really hate Be Young, and then he'd talk about it for 5 minutes.
Yeah, just, by the way, guys, I know this is a music stream, but Dominic Cummings is a cunt, but here's Work Freemasons remix by Kelly Rowland. It's basically how all streams went, wasn't it?
Yeah,
outrageous. But if you want to see
Pav,
the streams,
if
you want to see the streams, you can see the highlights on my Instagram at Pavan_Saki. Shameless plug.
Plug. Shameless.
Oh mate, I have no shame. It could never be shameful.
That's fantastic. Pav, the Dottie show, please.
I'm not sure how the Apple Radio thing is gonna work. Obviously, I'm sure they know far more than me, considering they're the $1 trillion company and I work for a couple of local clubs, but so I'm sure they might know a bit more. I can't see people switching over to it to a huge, like a large mass. Like Charlie Sloth had arguably the biggest show pretty much in the UK. Has anyone listened to him on Apple yet? Have you guys listened to the show?
Technically, I've been watching the Fire in the Booths.
But the Fire in Booths, honestly, they're a YouTube thing, though, innit? Like, do you know what I mean? It's almost a bit separate.
But Apple is multimedia, so
yeah. But
I don't know. But I see what Pav's saying. It doesn't really count, does it? The fact I'm watching Fire in the Booths and the clips.
We were doing that when he was on BBC.
Tuned in.
Yeah. But he does the fire. What is it? Like he does a festival, Fire in the
Festival, or Fire in the and then the city name.
It all stems from his show. Yeah. So,
but I mean, I don't hate Dottie. I hope she does well. I'll probably try and tune in just so I can quantify this opinion. But yeah, good luck to her.
I think maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm right. I think people might listen to her show and maybe listen to Charlie Sloth and all the other shows similar way they listen to a podcast. So they might not listen to it live, but they listen back to it.
I'm with you.
How obviously all our fans of the No Drinks in the Booth podcast though. Shout out to you guys. Shout out to Apple as well if they want to get us a show. We'd be more than welcome. Okay, the last bit of news today. Chip versus Stormzy. Was Chip versus himself at the moment, but so thoughts on that? I can tell you my thoughts if you want straight away.
Go on,
hit us with the truth bombs.
I'm a big Stormzy fan. I've never really been a big Chip fan. Not that I've got anything against him, but yeah, well, Stormzy's not responded. Chip said he's got 24 hours. Stormzy's not responded. And everyone's like, well, that's done now. So
That's
pretty much.
That's pretty much it, to be
Yeah,
honest.
yeah. But the one question I've got is like, why is Chip sending for like, what's the point? Is it just to generate some like view? Like, what's the reason you don't like him?
To hit you with the story because I was keeping up. For you guys that don't know, first I was also in the club drunkenly via like voice note and DJ. I was like, oh my god, guys, Chip and Stormzy is going on. Can someone listen to it? Because as much as I want to listen to it, I'm also chatting to this bird and I don't want to miss that. It was
And-
Straight away, I did listen to it though. Straight away, I was like, "Really? Yes!"
Yeah.
And I went onto YouTube straight away.
Joe, was funny. So Pav sent it. Chris obviously listened to the voice note and then listened to Chip's track straight away. I listened to the voice note and just went, I don't really care that much. I didn't bother.
Yeah, so basically in the tune Ways, which was on the joint Chip, Young Ads and Skepta album, Chip had like a little verse about like knocking the crown off like the king's head, etc., etc. And everyone was like, oh, is it like a shot at Stormzy? Because obviously everyone knows like Stormzy is like, he calls himself the king, which he is. And obviously at the album, Heavy is the head that wears the crown, etc., etc. That's his like little persona at the moment. And then in I Don't Know, obviously when Stormzy comes in, he's like, I don't know if he's sending for me, but he's like talking about that. And then he starts talking about, oh, how many top tens has these man had and etc., etc. Which was apparently like a response of like I don't know if you threw shots at me, but if you have, here's a response anyway, which is a really nice way to go for it. And then the video came out like a couple of days ago of Stormzy pulling up at Chip's yard with a few man. And then that was
after the diss tracks, weren't it?
No, it was before. That was before. That came.
I think it was.
I've been told I got sent that video before the diss tracks.
It was before.
It was before. Yeah, which is obviously, so there was obviously a problem, and that obviously didn't end well. But Chip luckily wasn't in, so there was no beef ting, which is great. And then Chip has the most feared pen in the game because no one wants to beef Chip. Everyone will beef Wiley. That's great. It's nice and easy. But Chip, he's like got that perfect level of being an amazing rapper, but he's also an arsehole and he's really funny. And you just combine the three and it's just like it's like, you know, like at the end of a Power Rangers where they all join up to make those fucking monster things. It's that.
Yeah.
It's that.
I love Pav. I've loved Pav describing grime beefs. It's just brilliant.
Yeah.
Comparing it to Power Rangers.
I was like, yeah. So basically, he pulled up with 7 man in a Range Rover, but Power Rangers.
Chris, your thoughts or whatever you want to say on the matter?
Yeah. Well, I absolutely love a good grime beef. I feel like that's what grime's all about.
Yeah.
And like, obviously, back in the day, like listening to like Lethal Bizzle, Pow, and obviously we've already talked about like grime when I was like at school was like what everyone was going crazy to. So like, I just love it when a grime beef happens. I just
Sorry. I've just got this like image in my head of like a young middle class Chris Watson in his school uniform with all the other Essex mandem like just mosh pitting in the playground.
Do you know what? You're exactly right. Like Pav, like that is funny, but that's literally what
I love
happened. And yeah, obviously we all loved it. So when it comes to like grime beefs, I saw like Stormzy and Wiley, like still disappointed. Stormzy, I actually still listen to that. Like, yeah, it was just wicked. And then yeah, obviously when Chip sent for, when I saw this one, actually I know Pav, you had your voice note and I listened to it like straight after that, but I did see it on Twitter like earlier in the day and I was like, oh my God, this is wicked. I'm like so excited. And then Chip, like, he dropped two tracks at the same time with videos, and like the second video is like him surrounded by like 5 body bags. I don't know if you clocked that in the video.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my god, this is unreal. And I was just thinking back to the Wiley one, and thinking back, if I'm honest, like Chip, obviously like absolute legend, but just thinking back to Stormzy's replies to Wiley in the Wiley Stormzy beef, I was just so hyped about Stormzy's reply. And then there wasn't.
Have you listened to the tunes? Have you listened to both tunes?
Yeah.
Like, man went back to the Shell petrol station, bro. It's deep.
Unreal. And I didn't catch the bars because I didn't know about the whole thing about where Chip turned up at his house and whatever. I didn't know about all that. So when I didn't really get the bars at first in the Flowers track, but when I like listened back and like did my basically research, means going through Twitter trending and just looking at what everyone's put. Once I did that, I was like, wow, these bars are unreal. And then I watched a second video about the 5 guys, and I got it. Like the body bag's just like unreal. But I love how Chip, last thing for me on this, is that how he like references that he doesn't bother with like guns or like the whole like gangster thing. He's like, I just want to fight you with like the pen, and it's like, oh well, yes. I'm just like, yes, come on, like, let's go. I want to see like Stormzy's reply, and it's like, I know that it's not just going to be ended by some like weird like street beef that obviously like if you're not like following the music you don't see. Like it's not going to, like, just an example of that literally that happened the other day. Abracadabra, the rapper, he did some tracks like On Deck. He did a track which was like a diss track to like Tion Wayne and like I don't know, and that video's been taken down.
They've got
now.
a real
All
beef,
those videos been taken down. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's a real beef, like and obviously now the music, which I love, like Abracadabra's stuff. It's been taken down. You can't listen to it anymore because of what's happened like on the streets. They've taken the music down.
Oh, raw.
So that's what isn't going to happen with Chip and Stormzy.
Yeah, I'm really excited for this. Stormzy has to reply. In my opinion, Stormzy, like when he clashed Wiley, the whole thing was, yeah, you did your thing for a little bit, but I properly did grime and I properly did pop music, and I'm worth way, way more money than you, which was the bottom line.
Which is mad when you think about it.
Chip was he's kind of the middle ground, because he's not quite Wiley, but he's not quite Stormzy. Like Chip's, obviously he's had big songs. Like we can't deny that. Obviously he's not had the commercial success that Stormzy has, but if he wanted to carry on, which I personally think he should have, he would have been I think he would have been that level.
It's a shame as well. Last thing I say on it, because I've kind of gone on this for a while, but Chip and Stormzy, one of my favourite like UK rap collaborations was I'm Fine, Stormzy and Chip, back in 2013 maybe. I might be wrong there, but 2014-13. I used to love that track, and it's like, I don't know, but it's just grime. Like I like it. I know I'm not like, sad that they're beefing. Like beefing should happen. That's what makes grime exciting. That's the whole genre of music. As long as it's lyrical, yeah. But it's a shame, as Way said, like he's kind of right, like where's Stormzy's reply? And Stormzy deleted all of his social media in February for whatever reason. So he's kind of gone, he might be going through some stuff, I don't know. He's gone dark. So I just hope he has a reply. I hope, but it's not likely, is it? He would have replied by now, wouldn't he?
Oh, no, unless he's dropping an absolute madness. Unless he's got like
feature length diss film.
Like unless he's got like Chip's like a baby mama or something, if he's got one and he's like waiting for the date to become free or some shit like that. Like it's the only thing I can think of, because I just thought he would have dropped it by now. Don't even know if he's got a kid, but he might have a baby mama somewhere.
No, Pav. We want to keep it lyrical, not personal. We want to keep it lyrical, mate. That's better. It's better content.
Sorry, I'm not saying that I was like, oh yeah, by the way, I'm doing the booking for fucking Stormzy for Chip's baby mama. I just think that's the reason.
To clarify, so just so I've got this straight, Chip was the one that started it on the track, the first track.
Yeah.
So I find this completely pointless, waste of time.
Oh.
I actually do. Like, I hate that. Like when they're just generated beefs for no reason. Like have a reason. Like you generally don't like that person. Not I've done a track with him. Now I'm going to diss him for a little while.
I mean, I haven't done a track with him for a while. Like he did a track with him a few years ago. It's not like he dropped a track with Stormzy and then started beefing in it.
Yeah, but I don't know. Like there's so much going on in the world. So much, especially in this country, with live music being decimated, and the arts and that, which Chip and Stormzy both come under. Stick up for your local music venue. Don't start beef.
I think what they should do is allow the beef, and they should all get a grime collective for everyone to do a cover of Black Eyed Peas, Where Is the Love? And that would make my fucking day.
They definitely should not do that. That's just what Pav wants to happen. They should definitely
I'll be
not
honest,
do that.
It was that or Band-Aid Feed the World, and I thought Where Is the Love is slightly cooler.
I think,
Sorry.
I mean, I agree with that, but not the Grime Collective company.
I am paying money, lots of money for Dutch Avelli to be there singing Feed the World. Do they know it's Christmas time? Tell me that wouldn't be amazing.
It would be awful. Okay, let's move on. That was the last story of the. That was the last story. Then let's move on to reviews, because I cannot keep talking about this over and over, and then Dutch Avelli on a Christmas song or whatever. Okay, I just can't do it. Right, let me do my link. Okay, so as always, you can listen to all of the tracks on Spotify. No Drinks in the Booth. The playlist is of the same name. And you can watch all the videos to the tracks, whether they're lyric videos or full-blown videos, on our YouTube playlist. So please make sure you do. Let us know what you think of the tracks. As always, hit us up in comments on YouTube, and you can always hit us up on Instagram on any other time. Okay, let's start with the first track of the reviews. It's called Princess Cut. It's by Headie One, featuring Young T and Bugsy. It's off his brand new album, Edna. Chris.
Obviously, before I start, just want to say that it's got maybe I'm going to throw like my future wife on it. Obviously, I don't want to go on a chicken shop date, but maybe like an actual date.
Amelia Smoldenberg.
I thought we were talking about Young T and Bugsy then.
Sorry, I should have said at the start. No, Amelia, maybe Amelia one day, chicken shop date Amelia. Although she hates being called that, I'm sorry, but one day maybe she'll go on a date.
I'll introduce you. I've got a plug.
Sorry, can we just clip this? And I'll say it live on it. We'll clip this little bit, and we're just going to tag Amelia.
Just see what she says. I can hope.
I'm gonna put a heart around Chris, and the Titanic song. Near, far, wherever you. There.
Oh, who knows?
Okay.
Anyway, sorry. Onto the song.
Talk about the track.
Onto the track. Yeah, the track's wicked. Young T Bugsy, awesome. Beats wicked. The video's wicked. I actually really rate this one. 4 out of 5 drinks for me. Love it.
Fantastic. Pav.
Yeah, man, I'm a 4. Like, I've never been the biggest Headie One fan, because I'm not really a drill fan, as you guys all know already. But he's just found this new dimension recently. Don't know where it's come from, but like, obviously he had the last tune and then this tune as well. Like, it's just a different. Oh, Ain't It Different? That's what it's called. Ain't It Different is a banger. That's what it's called. I was thinking, what the fuck's the song called? Didn't want to get it wrong. And this one's just the same. It's just like he's managed to do perfectly. I think what a few artists have been trying the last couple of weeks is like trying to get someone like Young T and Bugsy. They have a very, very specific sound. So to get them on a song, it's hard to have a song that sounds like their sound, but doesn't sound like you've copied their sound. And this kind of does it. And so I just really, really liked it. 4 out of 5.
Okay, Princess Cut, Headie One featuring Young T and Bugsy. I gave it 4 out of 5 as well, so a collective 4 out of 5. I'm not actually going to bother talking much about this because you have literally said everything I wanted to say. So, 4 out of 5 from me, from Pav, and from Chris. That one went well. Okay, the next track is called I Miss You. It is Jax Jones featuring Aura. Chris.
Yeah, very smart collab. Obviously, with the success of Camel Fat's tracks with Aura, and then now to Jax Jones. The track sounds very like Camel Fatty, really clever move. So I gave this one 3 out of 5. Cool track.
Pav?
I gave this one a 4. And the reason why is because it was going to be a 3, but I was brushing my teeth at the same time and then had to take my toothbrush out to start singing the song. So I was like, it has to be a 4. It's just too catchy. Couldn't get it out of my head.
Oh, my God.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Just got to be honest.
It must be if you learn it straight away on that. Was that the first listen?
Yeah, but obviously I always listen to them on the morning of a podcast recording. So I was like, oh, yeah, just quickly brush my teeth. And then that song came on last and I was like, oh, fuck the fucking tooth. Bring on enamel. Like, let's go.
It's a hit. It's a hit with Pav.
It's a hit. 4 out of 5.
Okay, I Miss You, Jax Jones featuring Aura. No matter what I say, it's not going to be as entertaining as that. I gave it a 3. I thought it was really good. I really like Aura on what she did with Camel Fat, and equally what she does with Jax Jones. Chris, I agree with you. It does sound very Camel Fat-esque. Big shout out to Camel Fat as well, because they're really championing the nightlife scene right now, which it needs. Okay. Next track, Wired, Sonny Fodera featuring Ella Air. Pav?
Same kind of thing. It's a 4, and it was going to be a 3, but then I was like, it's like the song's too good to be a 3. Sounds weird. Like, I just listened to it and I was like, this A makes me feel too good, and B sounds too good to just be a 3, because otherwise I was like, oh, it's just generic house tune, but it's a really, really good one. So it's a 4 for me.
Chris?
Nice. Yeah. It's do you know what? Just side note, I need to stop saying yeah at the start of every time I like come in to like give my opinion. I'm gonna try and not say yeah from now on. I just realised I keep saying it. Right. I'm going with right this time. Sonny Fodera, Ella, Wired, Ella Air. Yeah, absolutely love this track.
Failed one sentence in. Sorry. Failed one sentence in.
Sorry, old habits die hard. The vocal production, sorry, little nerdy point. The vocal production on this is unbelievable. Like, the recordings and the way they put the vocals together and the amps and everything, unreal. And it's just, super happy track. Honestly, absolutely love this one. Strong contender for track of the week for me, this one. So 4 out of 5 drinks.
Okay, Wired, Sonny Fodera featuring Ella Air. That shots at Chris. Okay, I gave it a 4 out of 5. I really like Ella Air on it. Really good. It's a lot of unexpected collaborations happening lately, and this is one of them. I wouldn't have put them together, but I'm glad they did work together.
Do you reckon it's better than last week's Ella Henderson and Roger Sanchez? Because that was also a very unexpected one. Similar kind of style here, isn't it?
That's very true, but I gave that a 4 as well, so it's on par for me.
If you had to pick, what I'm saying is, I know traditionally you've sat on the fence because like that week when you picked like 4 tracks of the week, but this time, which one do you think, mate?
Sorry, you mean because I host the podcast, I can sit on the fence. What I would do is I would play them one after each other. So there you go.
Oh, that's helpful. I'd pick Ella Henderson, but okay.
I would have mostly picked this one with Ella Air because I like Ella Air. I've always liked Ella Air. Not that I've got anything against Ella Henderson.
Battle of the Ellas.
Yeah, pretty much. And let's move on from that.
That was so random.
Okay, the next trap. Yeah, I know. The next trap, Apricots by Bicep. Chris, you can start.
Really feeling this one. I didn't say yeah. Really feeling this one.
But Chris, you can't go, I really like this one. I didn't say yeah, because now you've just said yeah in your opening line. Just start.
Right. Really like this one. Ninja Tune, London-based label, put this one out, who've also championed Peggy Goo. Mm-hmm. Awesome label. Not often do we shout out the label, but I'm going to shout out Ninja Tune because they've put up some really awesome tracks. Tracks that are supposed to be underground, but have done mad views. Wait, I'm getting onto it. Hold on.
Send us some stuff, Ninja Tune. Send us some stuff. We really like
some stuff. But yeah, I gave this one 4 out of 5 drinks because this one is my kind of music, super melodic, like kind of spacey, definitely like hits you in the feels for me. It's definitely a 4 out of 5 drinks on Apricots.
Pav.
I didn't like it. Ooh. It's not my vibe. It's not my style. It was like just the anti-drop of songs. Like I was waiting for something to happen and it just kind of never happened.
It's pretty underground, to be fair.
Yeah, it's a very, very niche style. But unfortunately, that is not me. So it was a 2.
Oh, wow. Okay, Bicep. The track is called Apricots. I gave it 4. I really like it. I really like Bicep. Really like the track. And Chris, you are right. Ninja Tune is a fantastic label. It's just really, I like the melody in it, like really melodic. Is that the right word? Melodic?
Yeah, melodic is
that's
a word.
That's what got me.
Yeah. I really like it. It's sort of it takes you into like a bit of a trance. Love that. So 4 out of 5 drinks from me. Okay, next track. It's called Quick Drive. It's by Nico B. Pav.
Yeah, man. I mean, Nico B. of Who's That? What's That Fame? So I was kind of like, oh yeah, it's going to sound exactly like that. And to an extent, it kind of did. It's the same, it has the same cadence, etc., same delivery. But I didn't mind it. It's still the actual instrument. If they can get the instrumental out, I will download and use that because the instrumental was really good. His vocals aren't amazing on it, but they're decent enough. So I gave it a 3.
Chris?
The verses are fantastic. He's kind of like cheeky, like super like British, like just like your local lad from around the corner vibes, packet of crisps, kind of flow and lyrics are just so good. Like I love it. And it was, for me, it was like on par with Who's That, What's That? But I feel like he needed to like do more for this track, if I'm being completely honest. Like, and I'm saying that as in like I'm a big fan of his. I love how like it's so organic and there's no major label. It's all like social media and just a lad, like just being a British lad. So I want him to do like so well. But I'm looking forward to hear what the next track is, definitely. So I gave it 3 out of 5 for me.
Okay, I gave Nico B Quick Drive. I gave it 4 out of 5. I think it's a really, really good follow-up to Who's That, What's That? I don't think it's as good as Who's That, What's That? But I feel like it's in the same vein, but like, I don't know, a bit, I'd say better in the sense that it's not like I'm making a tune to blow. Like that blew up and he's not copied it. It's similar, but not I'm trying to recreate the song. Does that make sense? So I've gave it 4. I really like it. I really can't wait to hear more future stuff from him. Okay. Next track is called More Than Words. It's by Sleepwalkers featuring MNEK. Pav?
Yeah, man. I mean, big fan of MNEK. Very underrated artist, except for the fact that he had like a number 1 for a few months. But we'll brush past that. Yeah, I mean, again, I had that same sort of thing where I was like, this is a 3. But it's just so well made, and MNEK sounds so good on it that I just had to. 3 was doing it like a disservice in my opinion, so I gave it a 4.
Chris?
This one sounded it was like the future house that was coming out in 2012. It was like very much that sound, and I didn't expect to hear that in 2020. Big shout out to MNEK though, because he's an unreal songwriter and amazing singer. I gave this one 3 out of 5 drinks for me.
Okay, More Than Words, Sleepwalkers featuring MNEK. I gave it 3 out of 5 drinks. I agree it sounds very 2012-ish. But MNEK, I'm never going to give anything he does mostly lower than a 3.
You just can't.
He's too good.
Fantastic. And it is a good track. It's not a bad track at all. I'm sure maybe a remix might come out, or the more it's played, the more I like it, but it's solid. So 3 out of 5 drinks from me. Okay, keeping in line with dance music. Next track is called Something Else by TS7. Chris?
This definitely was something else. It sounded pretty out there. Yeah, you like how I put that one in. It was, obviously I'm used to TS7 for like the baseline thing from kind of last year and the year before. So this was definitely, I like it because it's like a crazy move that you wouldn't really expect. And it was cool that it was uploaded on UKF as well, because UKF, big shouts to them, wicked brand. So 3 out of 5 drinks for me on this one.
Pav?
Yeah, I gave it a 3. Same. As soon as I see TS7's name, I'm like, oh yeah. I was like, oh, where's the filthy drop coming from? But yeah, so maybe in that respect, I'm a bit disappointed. But I mean, like, you got to diversify, so I can't knock him for that. Because if he didn't diversify, I'd most likely chat shit about the fact that he didn't do it. So basically, what I'm saying is he can't win either way. So I gave him a 3.
Okay, Something Else by TS7. I gave him a 4 because I like the fact that it's not like the same stuff from TS7. And you're right, if he'd done the same stuff, we'd be going, oh, he just does the same stuff. So I think it's good, and I think it's above average, so he gets 4.
Fair play. Can't argue with it.
Not much to say on that one, really. Okay, next track, St. John. The track is called Gorgeous. Pav?
Oh, again, this was a bit of a weird one for me because I basically went through the 3 minutes of the song, went from absolutely hating it to absolutely sort of loving it. So I gave it a 3. I'm not really convinced by the vocal, but I really like the beat. So yeah, I got a 3 out of 5 for me.
Chris?
I really hate when you go on certain music videos and you scroll down to the comments and all the comments say one song. It was one song that blew this guy up. He's riding on the wave of one song. And obviously in this case for St. John, it was the
Roses.
Iman Beck remix, Roses Iman Beck remix.
Yep.
Which is a great track. You can't take away from it. And that track has done crazy numbers and I love to see that. But St. John for me is he's like a wicked artist as well. Like his music on his own, not remix, is like a quality artist visually, musically, and all the rest of it. So I just hate to see that on videos. So I gave this one 3 out of 5 drinks for me, but I'm looking forward to see what St. John comes out with kind of going forward after the last kind of year or so.
Okay, gorgeous. St. John, yeah, people commercially might know him for Roses, the M. Beck remix, but he also had another banger which was called I Heard You Got Too Lit Last Night. Sick song.
Wicked record.
Wicked record and gorgeous. I gave it 5 drinks because I like St. John and give him his respect. He deserves it.
I thought you might give it 5.
Too right. Okay, I'm going to tell you why I gave it 5 drinks because it's sick and I would play it and I would listen to it and yeah, give St. John some more respect. It's not just a one-hit wonder. He most probably didn't even know it went number 1 because it did well in the UK, but I don't think it did so well around the world. It didn't go number 1 though, did it?
Well, it's got some crazy streaming numbers.
It was up there.
Imam Bet remix. Unreal.
It did well in all of Europe, to be fair.
Yeah, so and he most probably does not care because he's in America. So, okay, let's move on. The track is called Haiti. It's by Welshie. Chris?
Yeah, I've heard like a lot of music like this. I don't really know what even genre to put it in because people call it deep house, but it's not really deep house. But I guess there's nothing else you can call it. It was cool. As I said, I've heard a lot of music like this, but this one was good. So I gave it 3 out of 5 drinks.
Pav?
Felt exactly the same. Gave it 3 out of 5. Wasn't really sure where it fit in, but I think especially nowadays, it doesn't really matter. Yeah, like no real complaints, but it didn't like blow my mind. 3 out of 5.
Okay, Haiti by Welshie. I gave it 4 out of 5. I thought it was sick. I'm a bit like, I love all the stuff that doesn't fit. So it's well above average. Like I've heard tunes that we've gave 4s to that are worse than this. So solid. Could not give it anything less. I really like it as well. It's just, I don't know, it's got a good groove. Maybe, is that the right word? Good groove. It's got something in it that I like. Okay, moving on. Praise by Charmy featuring Gunna. Unexpected collaboration. Pav?
And that is why I love it, because I don't even like Gunna. And then it dropped and I was like, what the fuck? Like it was just like, it went from like, it did the same thing, but it went from really shit to really good. It's just the second half was just way, way, way better than I thought it was going to be. I was just listening to it like, am I on this? Like sometimes like I get to the end of a track and it starts again because I'm just listening to him like while I'm walking around. And I'm not sure if the next song is on or not, if it's the same one. And I heard it drop and I was like, is this the same shit? Well, fuck it, give this man some goddamn respect and a fucking 4. Yeah, I don't even like Gunna as well.
That review, I love that review. Right, yeah, super unexpected.
Yeah, there weren't we?
Super unexpected.
Sorry, can I just butt in? I'm not going to lie to you, Pav. I heard nothing of what you said because my in-ears went.
Oh, that's great.
Disconnect them and reconnect them.
Let me just recap. Give Gunna some damn respect and a fucking 4 because the drop is mad.
Okay, I love that. If we could keep all the collaborations that short and simple, it'd be great. All the reviews, Chris.
Sorry, they could be short, but no, come on to me. You know what I'm like.
So yeah,
there you go. I said unexpected. I didn't say yeah. I was about to say unexpected. Come on. Oh, come on. Sorry.
He's trying so hard.
Unexpected collaboration. I'm scared of speaking now. Unexpected collaboration. The drop was crazy, like crazy sound. I've not actually heard kind of like sound design like that. Like it's pretty, crazy in many different aspects. So I gave this one 4 out of 5 drinks actually.
Okay, Praise Charmy featuring Gunna. I gave it 4 out of 5 drinks as well. I think it was a really good collaboration. I get what you mean. The sound design's mental, but Charmy's skilled producer,
to say the least.
Yeah. So 4 out of 5. I think it's like one of them songs. The more I listen to, the more I like. So okay, let's keep moving. Track's called IC3. It's by Ghetts featuring Skepta. Chris, since you love a bit of grime, let's start with you.
Yeah. So
no one said anything then. You made that happen.
Chris, just to own the fact that you say yeah, no one cares.
Cool. We'll get it printed on a t-shirt. We'll do that.
Yeah.
That'll be my catchphrase. The obviously I'm a big Skepta fan. I've seen him live quite a few times, and this was cool. Obviously going back to like the like more old school grime, and obviously with Gets as well. Some of the bars were unreal. I gave this one 3 out of 5 drinks.
Pav?
I gave this a 4, man. It was just little, like the bars were hard. Like it's not like a dancey tune or a clubby tune, but seriously, like just sit there and listen to it. And I was like listening to every bar, and I was like, it just gets deep and deep. Like they're chatting about real stuff, and so I had to give it it would have been a 3 otherwise, but I had to give it a 4 because they're just actually talking about proper stuff.
Yeah. Okay. IC3 track by Gets featuring Skepta. I gave it a 4 as well because the subject matter is right on point, and it's 2 very, very, very talented MCs joining for this collaboration, which I couldn't be happier to see, to be honest. So 4 out of 5 drinks for me. To be fair, it's like pushing a 5, but 4. So, okay, next track, Grime by Yizzy and JME. Chris, let's start with you again because this is you, innit?
You are the mosh pit king.
So, well, back in the day, maybe. It's been a while since I've been in a mosh pit. Well, it's a while since anyone's been in a mosh pit, but we're going to get onto that. I actually gave this one 4 out of 5 drinks, and you'll notice that I gave the last track 3 out of 5 drinks.
We have noticed,
this one's
mate.
Yizzy
Yeah.
and Jamie.
Do you want to explain?
And then Gets and Skepta. This one was just, it jumped out the speakers like a lot more than Gets and Skepta's one did, and some of the bars were just what you want to hear from a grime record, in my opinion, is just those bars that make you go, oh, like just hit. They just hit differently. Yeah, literally. That's what I think anyway. And also, I'm sure, Wade, you're going to comment on this as well, but it's using, I believe, like lines from one of Wiley's records, like from back in the day.
Yes. What
like,
do you call
what
it?
do you call
Garage.
Urban?
What do you call it?
What do you call it?
Dead,
Garage.
that's what you
Like,
call it. Dead. I don't care about garage. That one.
That one. Which I think was that Wiley? Was that Wiley?
That was Wiley, yeah.
Yeah. So that was cool as well. And obviously it's like a young guy, like a new grime MC, obviously now using that flow. It's just like a much more exciting record for me. So yeah, 4 out of 5 drinks. Loved it.
Okay. Grime, Yizzy and JME. Pav, did I come to you?
You didn't, but if you want to go, mate, you're more than welcome to. It's your,
I'm
you're the
gonna
host,
go.
mate. He does what he wants.
I'm going to go. For some reason, I thought I'd come to you. I didn't. I'm in a world of my own. I gave it 4 out of 5 drinks as well. Anything with JME on is pretty sick. The beat is hard. I love the whole, what do you call it, little nod. And yeah, 4 out of 5 drinks. Pav?
Yeah, I agreed. The homage to Wiley there was good, but not copying. It was still a little bit, it was different enough that it was in his own style like that. Agree again. Pretty much because JME releases so little music, if he's on something, it's because it's good. And then he makes it better because he doesn't really, like, when was the last time JME had a dead verse? It's just not a thing. Like,
No.
So it just had to be a 4, and it did, like you said, it just jumped out the speakers. It was banging. Can't lie.
Yeah, I think we all can agree on that. 4's all round. Okay, next track, Trippy Red. It's called Sleepy Hollow. I'll start with this one. I gave it 4 straight away. I like Trippy Red. I really like this sound that's like a bit, I know it's called Sleepy Hollow, but it's a bit like, it's got like that haunting sound to it.
Yeah.
It's like a bit creepy and a bit like Halloween-y. I don't know if that's the right word, but yeah, Trippy Red sounds like Trippy Red. Really good voice, quite a cool cadence on it. I don't think it'd do that much damage in a club if there was a club, but I do think it'd get a few spins, so it gets 4 from me. Pav?
I gave it a 3. This is not quite my style, but it wasn't a bad song, so I had to give it a 3.
Okay, fair enough. Chris?
Unfortunately, this one just did not really do it for me at all. I think some of the records Trippy's like already put out are like awesome, but with this one, it sounded like I've heard of a lot of this already this year and the year before. So I gave this one 2 out of 5 drinks for me. Just this one in particular just didn't really quite hit with me. 2 out of 5 drinks.
Fair enough. Okay, last track. Poison by Sean Dean. Chris, let's start with you.
Yeah, it's like the old school done well. It's obviously on Deep Rock. Big shout out to Deep Rock because they supported a lot of my music when I was producing more like the bassline stuff and the UK dance stuff. yeah, is the track? As I said, that's how I'd sum up this track. That was the thing I wrote down my notes as soon as I heard it. It's the old school done well, wicked production. Sean Dean, unreal producer, and he supported a lot of my records before. So big shouts to you. So I gave this one 4 out of 5 drinks. Wicked record.
Pav.
Yeah, someone should send this tune to Dimitri Vegas and Like Mike, and this is how not to murder an old song. It was just done really well. There was enough of it. It's a bit like More Life with Torrin Foot. What was it, like 2 weeks ago? It had the same thing, like that had the old, like the rump shaker thing in there, and it was like old school song done well. This is the same. This is how not to bastardize a good song, but redo it. 4 out of 5.
Okay, Poison by Sean Dean. It obviously samples Belle Biv DeVoe's Poison. Yeah, I completely agree. It literally is how you do a song well, which this day and age seems to be hard. People were butchering songs left, right, and centre.
Do you want? Shall we just quickly, before you give your rating, does everyone want to play worst bastardization of an old song?
Well,
is it okay? Okay, let's put it here. Is there a worse one than Dimitri Vegas, Like Mike, Say My Name?
Oh, I remember that one.
that's just a rip off. I really dislike that one.
That one's just really bad. I can't
That
think of
is
a worse.
most probably up
I don't know
there.
if I can think of a worst one.
Do you know what? Sorry, just a side note, nothing to do with the track we're talking about, but about the Say My Name one. There's nothing, it's not a bad track. It's the fact they literally just rip off Say My Name. If they had put a different vocal on it, it'd be a good, like it's well produced.
The thing is, the music's not mind blowing on it either. It's like generic because it's obviously got Regard on it, and Regard is like has been like made Ride It, which was a good new version,
And Secrets. Which did well, Secrets.
But like obviously, like then he made Say My Name, and it was like, oh, it's just flat. Do you know what I mean? It was a flat song. But anyway, moving back to the song we were actually talking about.
Poison. I gave it 4. I think it is a very, very good take on the classic Poison. And if only producers were doing more good takes on classic songs, we'd be in a better world. Can we all agree that? Thank you. Preach. Amen. Thank you. Okay, that is all the reviews. Let's do track of the week. Who wants to start?
I'll go first, and I am going to give my track of the week to Sonny Fodera, Ella Air, Wired. That one just really kind of stood out for me, and it's definitely one I'm going to listen to when I'm in the right mood and just feeling it. And the vocal production's unreal. Everything is done so well. And I love the fact that Sonny Fodera, he's got his own label, Solo Toko, and he does a lot of the stuff he does like independent, which is just, I just fully rate that in artists. So track of the week for me is Wired, Sonny Fodera featuring Ella Air.
Yeah, Chris don't even know it is. Pav?
My one's going to have to be Praise featuring Gunna this week. It's not a collab that you expect between the two artists. It's not the kind of music that you expect, and then you put Gunna's bars on it as well. It's like a bastardization of just all music, but just made it sound amazing. Like I don't know how they like what they were smoking when they made this song, but it's just right and like keep doing it. It was just great. Has to be my track of the week.
Most probably smoking a whole lot of weed. Well, I hope so.
Light it up.
Yeah, exactly. Okay.
Oh God, Pav, never say that again.
Yeah.
Never say that again on the podcast. Never ever say that again.
Never do that again. Can you edit that out and just put in like a generic?
No, I'm no way editing that out. Are you joking?
Yeah, maybe.
Actually, just cut it and we can use that now every time something happens
New
in the pod.
podcast is out. Light it up. Yeah, my light it up went very Jamaican to very Indian in about one syllable, which is the problem with it. Oh, light it up.
That must be what it was. That must be what it was.
Oh God, going around the world with Pav, fantastic. Okay, I'll keep it short and. He went from Jamaica to India.
What concert is he doing next week? What's he doing next
we are
week?
technically pretty much everyone from Jamaica is originally from India. That's the thing.
Okay.
Well, look, Pav, you're taking it way too deep. We're just reviewing some
I'm
tracks.
just saying.
Okay, you're taking it way.
If you want to talk about Christopher Columbus, guys, I'm here.
We'll get onto that later on. Too early in the pod.
That is a completely different podcast, not us, because you can take all the hits from that one, Pav. Okay, my track of the week, St. John with Gorgeous. I think everyone knew what it'd be. It's the only one that I gave 5 to. Great track. And to recap, Chris went with Wired, Sonny Fodera featuring Ella Air. Pav went with Praise by Charmy featuring Gunner. And I went with Gorgeous by St. John. As always, you can listen to all the tracks and you can equally watch their videos on our Spotify playlist, which is called No Drinks in the Booth by the same name for the artist, and our YouTube playlist, which I highly suggest you check it out. Please let us know what you think in the comments, whether you agree or disagree, but they are our track of the weeks. That is the news, that is the reviews, that is that part of the podcast done. Let's move on to topic. Okay, today's topic. So I don't know, I paused
you stopped and we were like, oh, which one of us is going to talk here?
I realised that I've got to introduce it as well. Okay, today's topic is, it's a shared one. It's basically sort of a continuation of what we spoke about on the last podcast, purely because I think it's important, and right now it's what's happening, which is about the arts, the DJ culture, everything that the government are doing to sort of halt that, telling people to retrain and God knows what else. And I thought we'd sort of do maybe very shortly at the end of it how much we miss DJing, and maybe a little story each or something we miss about DJing. So let's get into the meaty part, really, which is about how the government are killing off the arts. I'm sure you have got loads to say, so please, Chris.
I could jump in straight away. I saw on Twitter yesterday, and I know we actually spoke about this before the podcast, but I'll just kind of bring everyone listening back up to speed. There's adverts that have come out by the UK government that are basically showing, like one I saw yesterday was a ballerina tying up her lace or whatever, and then literally next to it was like, you know, she doesn't know it yet, but her next job is in cyber, like retrain now or something, and then like the HM government like logo beneath that, and I was just like, what? I was like, and I think Pav, you're probably going to talk about this as well, but Pav was saying that apparently it was organised from like 2 years ago or a year ago of like promotional campaign just to try and recruit people into like, you know, computing or kind of cyber industries. But I saw this and it's just like, come on, like with everything, all the bad press the government's getting right now about how it's causing problems for the arts, and then you're going to put that up.
It's basically...
Sorry, Pav, I can see you're ready to go.
It's like having funeral care like adverts inside an ICU unit in a hospital. It's like that level.
Yeah.
It's like, you know that bit in in Simpsons where the guy's like, he's already dead. And this is what they're doing to us. It's the same thing.
Quickly, while you're talking about the whole campaign about the retrain, rethink, reboot thing, whatever it's called, I went to search it very quickly just to get it exactly word for word, but I can't find it. But I've got a fantastic meme of it.
Have you got the Rishi Sunak one with the with the thing?
No. It's the Fatima retrain, reboot, rethink one.
Yeah.
It's a fantastic meme. I will post it to our Instagram, so make sure you're following us on No Drinks in the Booth, and you can see it for yourself. This is the Save the Arts one, so this is better than the original.
Okay, that'll be in the description and then the rest of it. But
it won't be in the description.
It's just crazy.
It'll be on our Instagram.
Oh, and sorry. In the Instagram,
I've got a really good parody version, which I will also post on the Instagram. So make sure you follow, because you want to see that. Trust me.
How have they done this though? It's just ridiculous. I don't understand how this has been like allowed to happen. Like, surely, how difficult is it to stop like an online marketing campaign? Just stop it. Like, just don't post it.
Just stop it.
Even if it was like done like a year ago, just stop the scheduled posts. It's is it how difficult
Chris is
it be?
just
It's the government of the UK.
He's just getting
Right,
you know.
to give clarity. So the whole reboot, retrain, rethink scheme was set to go out this time anyway, bar coronavirus and what the government are doing. And it was all about getting people in other jobs, not just arts, so in construction, in hospitality, in care, in admin, to get into cyber and tech. So that's why the one we saw was of a ballet dancer, but there's also ones of, I think, a bricklayer, a chef, and maybe someone in an office. And the whole thing is getting them into the world of cyber and into that job. But the timing of it could not be worse. So that's the point you're getting at.
Yeah.
I just wanted to give clarity and a full picture.
Yeah,
I mean-
definitely. Well, it is the worst timing. It is
it's terrible,
The worst
terrible.
timing possible.
I mean, I'm not sure that it's the right idea either. I mean, I gather we're very much a music podcast, but we're going to go very non-musical for the next 5 minutes. But it's one of them, like, no one's like bricklaying because they're thinking, oh yeah, I was really good at computers, but there wasn't fucking jobs, because there just is. Like, it's a thing. I don't know about you guys. We did a shit ton of IT at school.
I'm not sure what you're saying.
As in, like, obviously Chris was just saying, but Wade was just saying, like, oh, they're trying to like get more people into the cyber world, but kind of that people aren't saying, oh, like, it's one or the other. Oh, you can either do construction or get into cyber. Like,
I know what you're
do
saying.
you get what I mean? Like, it's not like they thought, oh, I wanted to do one, but one wasn't available, so I'm going to become a bricklayer.
I think
it's like,
they were
both available.
Yeah,
You're
they're
saying
both
they were
available
both
now.
available as like life
I was
choices,
having a look
at-
and they've made
yeah.
their choice, and they're earning money. So why change it?
I think what Pav's trying to say is, if you're a bricklayer, there's a reason you've become a bricklayer. It's either because you're good at hands-on things or like working in that industry, and you wouldn't suddenly go, do you know what, I just want to sit in an office all day.
yeah.
Equally, if you're a chef, you might be a chef for the reason that you enjoy hospitality and food and that environment. You wouldn't suddenly think, let me deal with cybercrime.
Yeah.
Equally, if you're a ballet
Pretty much.
dancer or something
Yeah, okay.
else.
Yeah, for sure. Well, exactly that. That's another reason why it's just ridiculous, you know. And then what's? I mean, I'm not really been following it, but have you seen any like massive, you know, outcries that there's not enough
No.
people working in cyber?
No.
You know, I've seen
there's
people.
really not.
I've seen the government advertising, and there's an outcry about there's not enough teachers. I've seen that where there's not enough people training to be teachers, so they need to increase in employment.
Yeah,
and
It's because
training
it's
for
a
being
shitty
teacher.
job.
But well, debatable. But well, it could be, I guess.
No,
I
no,
don't-
no,
I
it's
don't-
not in like a
Anyway, but
not
that's
in a-
besides the point.
Yeah,
Besides
yeah,
the point.
yeah.
That's besides the point. Like,
I
there's
think-
still a lack.
I think what Pav was trying to say is the pay scale doesn't match their job.
It's not like it's not
Yeah,
like
oh,
it's a
that's
bad
true.
job.
That's
It's
definitely
like
true.
it's like nurses. It's the same kind of pay
Yep.
scheme and same people. It's the same kind of
And
ethos.
speaking on pay scale, so it was also announced, or it come out, that MPs are getting their annual
Oh my
pay
God.
rise, and it amounts to £3,300. These are the same MPs that also voted against the pay rise for nurses, care workers, you know, people in the NHS. I don't know about you, but it very much feels like you've got the MPs who live a very privileged life, and then you've got everyone else who's a peasant to them.
So I'll
Pretty
combat
much.
this and I'll say it's not every MP, because
No, it's not. No,
I've seen a lot of MPs that so normally, I'll be honest, they're probably going to get a pay rise, and we sort of have to live with it. Sort of, it is what it is. It's not nice, but kind of, it's easier to give a pay rise to 600 MPs than it is to 5,000 nurses. I understand that, however much it is. I don't agree with it, but I understand the concept. But in a year where we have basically been fucked on our arse and been like, oh, we need the NHS to be good, and they have. Maybe give it a miss this year.
Well, to caveat that, Sir Jacinda Ardern, who is the Prime Minister of New Zealand,
Legend.
and people in her party have actually took a pay cut
Yeah.
to sort of say we stand with the people of New Zealand who have lost work and, you know, are finding it hard, because it shouldn't be us making more money. It should be everyone in the same boat together.
She's
And you know
she's
who
up for the
mostly hasn't?
Nobel Peace Prize as well, she is.
Too
And
right. She's
And I
amazing.
hope she wins. I really hope she wins. And you know who else I really don't like other than MPs getting pay rises? She used to be an MP. Is Edwina
Oh,
Curry.
great.
That bitch.
Oh god, here we go. Oh god, he's gone already. He's already gone in.
Don't know if you guys,
If
if you're not watching,
if you-
guys, you can actually see a vein popping out of Wade's forehead right now.
if any of you follow any of us, especially me, you'll notice on Twitter as well, you'll notice that everything Chris puts on Twitter a comment saying about Edwina Curry. I don't know if you've noticed that, Chris.
True.
Chris was putting saying about a different breed or something you put, and I went, what's a different breed? Edwina Curry. Then he's putting saying about like a kick drum. I'm like, oh, do you know what else needs a kick in? Edwina Curry. Like any,
Oh my God.
I will find any way to like.
Wait, and we're normally trying. We're normally trying to censor Pav, and now you're out of control. You're out of control. You're supposed to be the impartial host.
He does what he wants.
You're supposed to be the impartial host.
I don't advocate violence
DJ
towards Edwina Curry.
He does what he
But
wants.
if anyone wants to troll Edwina Curry, you've got my full backing.
Fucking hell.
No, but in all seriousness, besides Edwina Curry,
Pav, we're getting cancelled. Pav, we're getting cancelled. I can't believe I'm saying this to you, Pav, but we're getting
Thank
cancelled.
you for listening
Hang on.
to No Drinks in the Booth for the last 12 episodes. This is the last one.
well, she did tell us all to go get proper jobs, so take that as you
Oh no,
will.
she's still a
and tell us-
cunt. That's not a thing. It's
There you
not
go.
like,
No one
but
likes
as
Edwina Curry.
I
in
was
this.
actually saying, so there's been a few MPs that have said, I know the member for Leeds East, whose name I can't remember, but I really should because he put something great out. He said, I absolutely oppose the pay upgrade, but he was like, obviously, I can't stop it personally. So he said, if it does happen, I'll donate all of my money to food banks in my constituency. And I was like, great.
That's what a lot of MPs are doing. They're basically saying we can't actually stop it happening, but the money that they're going to give us, we're going to donate to charities that mean something to us or our constituents. Just moving on slightly from their pay rise. So there's going to be a pantomime this year, I think at the London Palladium, of a reduced capacity. I can't remember what it is. I think it's about 1,000 people, which is still a hell of a lot. So that brings me on to the question of, if they can do a socially distanced pantomime with 1,000 people, because it holds 2,000, so that would be 50% capacity, why can't we open nightclubs?
So basically, the problem that we have is our government basically are fucking idiots. Like, genuinely, like, very, very rarely do I, like, I'm not a particularly political person in the sense that I'm a big Tory or I'm a big Labour supporter. I just support what I think's right at the time. Like while David Cameron was in office, I used to vote Tory because I like David Cameron. Makes no difference because my constituency is always Labour and has been for the last 100 years. But I would do that because I was like, oh, I agreed with him at the time. But the crop of politicians that we have right now are genuinely some of the worst for our country, I think, maybe ever. Like, all politicians are a little bit self-centered or helping their friends. And I get this. We're all business people. Like, if we've all got a gig to pass on, we're going to give it to our mates, innit? So I understand they give their contracts to their mates. It's how life works. It's how business works. Except for the fact that they still have to actually get the fucking work done.
Yeah. And to lead into what you're saying, Pav, so they've given £3 billion, that's 3 billion with a B, pounds away to companies or people with no experience in the field they're giving it to.
Yeah.
And there's an investigation launched. Other MPs have paid for it to be taken legally into court. As well as that, I'm going to quickly just run you through the other things that are being happening legally, which is Jeremy Joseph, the owner of GAY, and the NTIA are also taking the government to court over the 10 p.m. curfew, and there's no the lack of evidence, I should say, that it has, and to explain why. Sacha Lord, who is the Nighttime Economist, we've spoken about him before, from Manchester, and also Warehouse Project and Parklife. He is, I think, launching legal action against the government over, I think it's closure of certain places with this whole tiered lockdown and the 10 p.m. curfew. And Andy Burnham, who is the mayor of Greater Manchester, I think is doing something legally as well. I don't know it all off the top of my head because there's a lot of legal stuff happening there. But it says quite a lot when you've got mayors and economists.
I was going to say, Andy Street's
and associations.
Andy Street, who's the mayor for West Midlands, talked about it the other day because I think he's finally realised that actually, especially Birmingham, but also obviously Coventry, Wolverhampton's like Stoke, Leicester, all come under his remit. and he's probably realised that the streets are a bit fucking empty. So cheers for talking about it, mate. Bit ashamed it wasn't a couple of months earlier, but better than late than never, so we'll have it.
And quickly to just lead on, so the World Health Organization, which are who our government have been following for scientific advice, and obviously they deal with the world. They're the World Health Organization, who for short have advised governments and world leaders against lockdowns.
It's mad,
and only said to use them in extreme measures to allow some occupancy or to build up some more free room in your healthcare systems if they're running low because of obviously coronavirus, cancer treatments, heart disease, all the horrible illnesses under the sun. So they say to use them really sparsely. So are we following the science? Or are we just sort of following what we want? That's sort of the issue is you've got this big organisation which is saying don't do these things unless you literally have no other option. And our government are going 10 p.m. curfew, no evidence. Sweet.
I mean, I think the biggest problem that we have...
Going to lock you down. Sweet. They don't care.
I think the biggest problem that we have is our government basically was so bad. And I say this not lightly. I say this in a sense of, so politicians aren't going to get everything right, especially in a situation like this. I'm absolutely with that. But the biggest problem politicians have is none of them want to turn around and say, actually, you know what, guys, we fucked that up a little bit. This 10 p.m. curfew, you know what, we were wrong. We've been advised 12 is cool now, so let's switch to 12 and we can help everyone out. Rather than, instead, they're saying, oh, well, we don't want to lose any face here. Let's just fucking keep it at 10. Fuck these cunts. Don't make a difference to them. Don't make a difference to us. Let them carry on. And that's basically what the biggest problem is. Like, they just can't get their heads out of each other's arses. It's like that Hancock's scene, that bit where he's like, your head is going up his ass, and they're just all doing it to themselves.
I think one of the things, and Chris, we want your point of view on this as well. So you're just sitting listening, but one of the things I will say is what's a bit worrying is, so this podcast is going out, I think on a Thursday. I think this one goes out on. So on the Monday, previous to it, the Prime Minister at about 6 o'clock will come out and talk about tiered lockdowns and all that stuff. But it got leaked to the newspapers by sources from the government on like Thursday and Friday, and the government knew that, and they gave it a weekend. They let a weekend happen, said, oh, we'll talk about it on Monday. Like, how stupid can you be? And who the hell is leaking these stories? Like, how horrible must it be being a restaurant owner or pub owner or bar owner to see a newspaper saying you're going to have to shut and, you know, you're basically fucked, and the government saying we're going to take a weekend to think about it, let you know Monday. Like, how bad is that? Like, come on, Chris. Like, it's not like a tabloid story on Kim Kardashian saying, oh, she might be in London.
Sorry, you said come on, Chris, then, like he had something to do with it.
Yes, Chris. Yeah, why have you done this?
Chris, it's you and your middle-class friends fucking it for the rest of us as usual.
Basically, guys, thanks for that way. Basically, when I become a Tory in 2025, I just want to know that I'll have your back, and I'll make sure that I champion.
You've always been a Tory. You just assume the position in it.
Well, yeah, look, sometimes, you know, maybe it's in my veins. I don't know. No, look.
Maybe it's in my veins.
He bleeds blue.
Look, Pat, if you put me on a spot now, I need to kind of go away for a few days, you know, like kind of formulate a proper kind of statement and kind of get something together, and then I'll come back to you about that. I don't want to say things, you know, that would upset anyone. That's what politicians do, right?
Wade would be a great one because he sits on the fence all the time, but
I might become an MP if you know.
Shall we make our own party? Because someone said to me this week you should become a politician, and I was like, I kind of did want to, and then a teacher told me, he said, don't do that, you'll make no money. And I was like, what if I'm just trying to make change?
What, the no drinks in the booth party?
No drinks in the party? Let's go.
Guys, I'm not sure if we're qualified for that, guys.
I mean,
I'm not sure.
Sorry, our Prime Minister's most famous moment was getting stuck on a zip line, but we're not qualified.
I thought his rugby. I thought his most famous moment was rugby tackling a child.
Have you seen the Soccer Aid one? And he just he takes Ben Shepherd out, but like not like you seen that one? That's wicked, isn't it?
We'll try and find the clip and put that on Instagram as well. Right.
Okay, so just after what Pav just said,
let's
just
just
let you know,
regroup.
after what Pav just said, we're now no longer on the fence. Have you just heard what he just said? That's
Yeah.
clearly
Oh,
we're now no longer on
Because
the fence.
traditionally I've been the only one that has scolded particular politicians on this podcast, haven't I?
wait.
Well, if you want to talk about politicians, former or now, Edwina Curry, what a bitch.
Wait,
Right.
wait.
As
Listen,
I said to all the listeners, we're no longer on the fence.
No, we're not. We're
on the
not.
The fence is
Look,
fucked.
let's
No,
just
Pav and Wade have just destroyed the fence. The fence is gone now.
set it on
Like,
fire.
The fence has been destroyed.
Let's just bring it back round quickly, because we're running out of time. We don't want to, go over our time because this will be a 5-hour podcast otherwise. Even though we've been talking a lot about nightlife and the politics of it, well, not that we're getting too political, but the fact that government has let our industry down. We do advocate as well that it's not just our industry that it happens to. It will be hospitality. It will be arts. None of us are classically trained musicians or ballet dancers or actors, but it affects the arts. It affects the economy around that, which is hotels, which is, taxes. It affects everything, not just nightclubs. So I just wanted to make that sort of clear that we're trying to sort of advocate that we want arts in general, not just nightclubs, but art galleries, theatres, ballet, opera, classically trained musicians. We just want help for everyone.
I think the one thing that hasn't been talked about as well in the media, in my eyes, massively, is tourism. Do you know how strong like the UK brand is overseas, especially in America and other European countries? We've got a really strong brand, and at the moment there's been a lot of kind of problems revolving around the brand. You had things with like Harry and Meghan, which that they're like an important part of like the UK's tourism and the whole kind of the royals, and then also
but that is
and then
because
now this,
Prince Andrew's a nonce.
Yes, he is.
Yeah.
There you go.
If you want to find out more about that, I am doing a TED Talk next week at the Pizza Express in
sorry.
Woking.
Wait, that is where Pav's TED Talk would be. I'd actually love to see your TED Talk, Pav. It would be unreal. It would be unbelievable. Just an hour of just Pav truth.
Guys, just to sort of just interrupt you very, very slightly. Should we spend a few more minutes talking about the government and how they've let us and the arts down, and then should we just quickly each talk a bit of a tales from the DJ booth, but not so much funny, just maybe one of our favourite memories, or some of our favourite memories. So Chris, do you want to sort of wrap up the whole government thing, because we've not let you talk?
Go on, Chris, we're going to give you a 1-minute monologue here. Make it count.
Chris, you can have as long as you want.
Put me on the spot.
You can have it. You can have it as long as you want, because you can edit it.
Look, biggest problem is, and I think you'll both agree on this, is that there needs to be more scientific, cold evidence from sources outside the UK, like the World Health Organization and other countries. It needs to be evidence. Everything needs to be evidence. And the problem is that there's no confidence. The government's losing confidence in not just people in the arts now, who obviously have lost complete confidence in this government.
Mm-hmm.
They're losing confidence they're using confidence from the public in general now, because they're not backing things up in public using big media outlets and showing that we're doing this because of this. This is happening because of this, and this is going to save your life, maybe your friend or family's life. It's going to save your job in the future. Even if they, in the long term, just say this will save your job in the long term, then cool, we'll go into another lockdown for a few more weeks. Okay, look, people are humans. We're humans in the day. We want to, survive and prosper and all the rest of it. So like the government just needs to be completely transparent in why they're doing things and not just making like knee-jerk reactions. That's how I'd sum it up, and that's the problem.
Okay, I think me and Pav would both agree. And to just sort of end the whole government talk, I'm just going to give you a few people that if you want, that you can follow on social media, that one, very positive, two, talk broadly about it for our industry and beyond. And they are Sacha Lord, who I said is the nighttime economist for Greater Manchester, also known for the amazing Warehouse Project and Park Life. Andy Burnham, who's the Mayor for Greater Manchester. Emma Kenny, who some people know from This Morning, because I think she does all their mental health. She's fantastic. Professor Carol Sikora, who used to be the head epidemiologist for the World Health Organization, who provides he provides a really good outlook on coronavirus.
That's a level, mate.
From a normal person's perspective, but medically,
and a non-biased person's perspective, because he's not the position anymore.
And he's a very positive person, but even he's calling out the government. And lastly, as well, Adam Brooks, who I think owns a couple of pubs. He gives a really good broad perspective from a pub point of view. They're some of the people you should follow, as well as the NTIA, who are the National Nighttime Industry Association. They're just a few of the people. If you want to know more, following them on social media definitely would help. I think it's safe to say #SaveTheArts UK, and we sort of stand by everyone that's in the industry or in the arts industry. We stand shoulder to shoulder with you because we know how you feel now.
But 2 meters apart.
Okay. But 2 meters apart, of course.
Nice.
And to end that, Edwina Curry's still a bitch. Now, let's...
This went from
that was such a beautiful way to end that segment. I was like, yes, roused, amazing. What a great speech. And then but
do you know what it is? It's going every single time Wade says it. It's going from more and more of Wade's just sticking up for us to I think he has a genuine vendetta.
I'm getting a little bit worried. I don't know about you, Pav. I'm getting a little bit worried now. He keeps saying it.
Well, all I'm hoping for, fingers crossed.
Podcast host brutally murders ex-politician.
No, I won't go that fast. But fingers crossed, she was on I'm a Celebrity previously. I hope she's on this year's one because I will vote her for every single thing.
What, she has to eat like loads of bugs and stuff like that?
Yeah, like she has to go in a ditch and like be surrounded by like snakes. I'd love that. So,
mate, she's out of Parliament now, mate.
Oh,
shots.
Right, okay. We are running out of time and we've got a little bit of time left. So I think it would be nice and positive and just nice for everyone and us to reminisce about when we could be with people in nightclubs that we all work at. You don't have to name your nightclub. It doesn't have to be a specific nightclub or a nightclub in general, just a venue you've DJ'd pre-coronavirus. And a good memory or a positive memory or a funny memory or just something.
Cue emotional music now. Cue emotional music.
Yeah, because because I don't know about you, I actually when I was the other day, I watched Lil Wayne live at Firefly Festival from a few years ago, or from about 5-6 years ago, to be honest. And I literally wanted to cry because to see that many people together enjoying something. And now we can't even go near each other. So I thought it'd be just nice and positive and bring back some good memories. So, and PG memories, Pav, yes?
Oh. Well, there was this one time. No, I'm joking.
So we spend like 5-10, I think about 10 minutes probably would be fair, 10-15 minutes on it. So does anyone want to start of your time in nightlife?
Go on, Chris.
I can go first.
Please, Chris.
I've got a story. Do you know what? I'm somewhat. One might come to me. I have another ones like actual stories I could say, but something I was thinking about the other day that was literally just. I just literally miss just seeing like just a club full to the brim of people and just people not caring about anything, like not caring about social distancing and not caring about, oh my god, can I go over and speak to you? Can I go over and do this because I'm worried about infecting you? And you know what? In fairness, like people have a right to be worried. Obviously, I'm not saying they shouldn't, but I'm saying that just not having to worry about this whole thing in like a nightclub or bar or music venue or whatever it is. But especially in obviously for me and like my experience and DJ and stuff, like in a nightclub, that's what I have in my mind. I'm just thinking that time when people were just rammed in together, just having like an absolutely like amazing time. People were just like meeting new people, just, absolutely having it off and not worrying about anything, like worrying about social contact. That's for me is just the thing that I think, honestly, like beyond like missing like what, like my sets and my job and whatever, more than missing that is just the thing that I think I definitely miss the most. I don't know if you guys miss the same thing, but just seeing that happen, like
the escapism, watching people forget about all their worries and enjoy their night out.
And just not being worried and just like, being relaxed, just people relaxed and like happy, like to be out and meeting people and have no kind of, be like prohibited from doing certain things. That's the thing I miss the most.
Being free.
Yeah, pretty much. especially in a nightclub setting, in a club or whatever. It's just, it was great to see that, and I hope it comes back.
So I think we all do. Pav, have you got a time you'd like to talk about?
Man, I mean, so I just finished uni this year, so I feel like I've done that perfectly, because we were going to the club, like me and the lads. Like first year, I was like, yeah, we'll go for a bit. We'll go like once or twice a week. End up being like 3-4 a week. Go, and then like second, third year, I was like to my dad, and fourth, I was like, oh yeah, well, obviously I'm only going to go every so often. So I basically got into this habit of lying to my dad and telling him that I was meeting up with promoters for drinks, which obviously wasn't happening. I was going out with the boys, but it worked.
Smart.
I was like, oh yeah, so and so DJ. Yeah. Well, he said come over, and I might be getting this job, so I was like, oh, I better go and like have a couple of pints with him. In reality, it'd be like a stupid fucking bottle of vodka or something. But oh man, it's just like I remember the first time I played a main room, and like obviously I play a lot of student nights, and you play like a sing along, but you play a sing along that you didn't think that they were gonna know, like. And
you said this before. You like?
I love that. It's one thing I love, like when it's like a fucking rave, like you're raving and that, and then you drop a sing along, and like the light jockey takes all the lights off. He's just got like the main dance area a bit lit like up, and you just filter the song out, and you hear people just sing like. There's basically a thing that I do with a couple of DJs that I play with, where we play how long can we keep the volume down before people stop singing, and we've genuinely played like Wonderwall or like Written in the Stars and stuff like that, and gone like a good minute and a half. Once I remember playing Fireflies and genuinely had the music off for a good 90 seconds.
What, Fireflies by Owl City?
For like a good 90 seconds had the filter on, because they were just singing it. And I realised, obviously, I did a few gigs the last few weeks, and I played a few sing-alongs, and people were sort of singing along and whatnot. And I remember when we were all streaming, and we were like, oh yeah, we're going to do loads of streams when everything opens again. And I did that, and I heard real people sing, and I was like, well, streaming's fucking shit, isn't it? Basically. I was like, this is why streaming's not a real thing. This is an interactive thing, like, it's the people that make it, not just the me playing the music or like the venue. It's the whole. It works with everything or nothing, and it's just how it is.
Wade, did you want to say anything?
Yeah, I think one of my great memories, or one of the things I love about one of the gigs I do. I live sometimes for this gig. This is my favourite gig of the week. When I could do it. And sometimes that was the gig that got me through some of the weekly gigs. You might have a bad night, but I knew that night would be good. And I got a really good relationship with my manager, both the assistant managers, the other DJs, and the light jockey. And it was that whole like team thing. We were a team. The manager trusts me that I can play literally anything I wanted. Some weeks I play a bit of bassline, some weeks I play like house, some weeks I play hip hop, some weeks I play everything. Like I do what I wanted, but it was trust. And it was that before you start DJing, that chat you have with the manager or assistant manager or people you're working with, it's the chat you have during the night, it's the chat you have after the night, and sort of talking about it and reflecting on it. But I miss that like team mentality,
the camaraderie. I think is the word you're looking for.
And like the social thing, like it sounds really stupid, and for people listening, they mostly think I'm mental. But like, we used to bring sweets in, like to eat throughout the night, because it was a long night and you get hungry and you want a bit of energy. So all of us, so the light jockey, the other DJs, even the manager and assistant manager, we all obviously we all live in different places. So we all sort of stopped off at a local petrol garage or Marks and Spencer's or whatever they are, Tesco's. And we all sort of brought different sweets in, and it was sort of like we'd have like a buffet of sweets in the DJ box, and that was like it was great. It was like the whole like, oh, I've just nipped in to get a couple of jelly babies, like the manager would. He'd nip in, take it down for a bit. Oh yes, banging in here. The queue's massive. Da, 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 da. Or equally, there's be some quiet nights because that's how life works. And it was just that, what is it? The social aspect, the team sort of aspect. I miss that. I miss that with the. I miss that with the aspect of playing to people enjoying themselves, because when them two things click, you feel like Michael Jordan playing for the Bulls. Honestly.
Yeah.
Go on, Chris.
I was just saying similar thing. That's something I miss, where just those nights where you're just like playing or whatever, and it's like cool, and you're like, and then the manager comes over and you're like, oh, you know, how's it going? And I'm like, not sure. Like, you know, the last night we did was like a lot busier than this. Like, is everything cool? Like, what's it going? Like, the night's cool, and like, oh, the queue's massive outside. Tonight's gonna be crazy, and they just like grab the radio and just walk off, and I'm just like, yes, like I just miss that kind of buzz.
Yeah.
Of, like the queue's insane, and it's like gonna get like crazy. Definitely miss that kind of buzz, and also definitely the camaraderie thing. Like, even for me now, obviously it's become like, you know, my primary thing now, like, you know, producing music, and those moments now when I'm like collaborating like with people or doing stuff with people now, I kind of like cherish like a lot more, because I miss like the social aspects that I got from DJing in clubs and venues, because that, in terms of like, when you said about the camaraderie, that's something I can definitely like relate to missing, because like that was definitely good fun. Like, you know, the whole thing about like everyone that worked for the venue and all the other DJs or whatever, just being a team, that's definitely something I think unique you do get from DJing in clubs and that kind of thing. So
I agree.
I'd agree with
Does
that.
anyone have anything else they want to share on our little therapy session at the end of the podcast before I wrap it up?
I just want to let everyone know that obviously while venues are shut, I will be pursuing other careers, and I'm actually starting an Edwina Curry fan appreciation club if anyone wants to join.
Oh, really, Pav? Yeah, I was interested. Have you started that now? Because I'd like to join that. I think she's great, to be honest. I think she's fantastic.
I had you down as vice president.
Thanks, Pav. It'll be an honour. I just want to support and believe, you know, and I want to support the cause. You know, she's a great woman.
I'm going to sit this one out.
Oh yeah, I'm just saying, it's only like £25 membership, so you can just join lifetime.
Yeah, no, I'd rather put pins in my eyes. So there you go. That okay. So we've had news, we've had reviews, we've spoke a little bit of politics, which we don't always do, but it's important, especially at this. And obviously some of our favourite DJ memories. Before I actually wrap it up, I just want to say one thing, and I'm sure you will both agree. If you know anyone that works in the hospitality, the arts, or the nightlife industry, please make sure you reach out to them, because everyone is going through a tough time. Us three included, we're not exempt from it. It's not easy being in the industry that feels forgotten and feels not viable. So make sure if you've got any friends or loved ones that are in the industry, make sure you reach out. Equally, please support the causes. # Save the Arts UK, Woo. The Let Us Dance petition, and just, you know, get behind your local venues, whether they're concert venues, music venues, nightclubs, bars, whatever it may be.
Sign the petitions. That's important.
Support the team.
Yeah. And just make sure you support everyone in the industry, because we love our jobs. The reason I think we all got into it is because we love music and love playing music to people that love music. So, you know, please support it. Oh, and on that note, thank you for everyone for listening. Don't forget you can check us out on Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Make sure you leave a 5-star review, because it pushes us higher in the chart, and we always like to see what you've got to say. Also, as you know, because you're watching us most probably, we're on YouTube, so don't forget to like, subscribe and share. And please check out our playlist on Spotify, No Drinks in the Booth. The artist and the playlist have got the same name, and the YouTube playlist to check out all the videos for the music that we spoke about in the podcast. I think that is
and
it.
And if the Edwina Curry Fan Appreciation Club is for you, the link will be in the description.
The link will not be in the description. It will not be in the description.
And on that note, that's everything from us. Fuck Edwina Curry. Peace.
Oh my God.
Every week.